clinical studies needed for the future, Curaxis scientists and advisors agree that the shortest route to commercialization is a phase 2B trial in women, validating the statistically significant data achieved in the first women's trial. Success in this trial would unequivocally confirm our scientific approach, as well as confirm our trial design. Costs associated with the trial and commensurate operating expenses are budgeted in our current capital raise and equity drawdown facility in partnership with Southridge LLC. Valuation increases during the next 3 years would allow for less dilutive capitalization, and phase 3 clinical studies would be determined by the results of the phase 2B trial. Estimates for phase 3 are in the $50 million range. However, co-development partnering or high valuation capitalizations will provide less dilutive transactions. In addition to our Alzheimer's development, Curaxis has extensive database of preclinical candidates for cancer and osteoporotic diseases. Partnering and licensing opportunities could provide substantial revenue generation, lowering further capital needs. As an example of Memrite compared to an already approved drug, Namenda, marketed by Forest Labs, with sales over $1 billion in the US. Comparing an endpoint, the ADCS-ADL, which measures the activities of daily living, such as eating, brushing your teeth, toileting, etc., you can see that Memrite was more than twice as effective at 24 weeks, which was the endpoint of their trial. And Namenda was approved on this single endpoint. Their trial had no 48-week data. But as you can see, the Memrite doubled the improvement from 24 weeks. This 6.3 difference from control is an unprecedented achievement in the entire AD treatment arena. Curaxis' business strategy is simple, lean and mean. Advance Memrite through the clinical trials process to commercialization as rapidly as possible. Utilize outsourcing as a model of efficiency. Appropriately partnering to utilize sales forces that can maximize our opportunity. Pursue additional patent opportunities that have been submitted already based on our clinical results and in our current database. These patents combined our drug candidate Memrite with currently marketed AD drugs coming off patent. The synergy shown in this combination is scientifically driven and provides for a treatment package providing higher revenues and earnings as well as a better clinical outcome. The timelines and milestones will be the drivers of the valuation. As this graph indicates, the 5-year period from 2011 to 2015 could be an opportunity for substantial stock appreciation. Combined with clinical trials progression and scientific publication, valuation milestones will provide a systematic step up in stock price. These are some personal stories that Curaxis has had experience with over the last 10 years. Families that we have gotten extremely close to as they've experienced the use of our drug for their family member. Mr. and Mrs. K are from Florida. They approached Curaxis back in 2003 and essentially wanted their Mr. K to go on the drug, and we were able to convince this physician of the clinical validity of doing so. Mr. K now has been cognitively stable for those 8 years. He's getting older. I believe he's now 85 years old, but he does know his grandchildren, his children, and his family members, and lives a relatively high quality of life. Mr. B came to know Curaxis through one of our investors. And Mr. B started on therapy approximately 6 years ago. He is currently cognitively stable, leads a very active social life, and is able to carry on very astute conversations and has a very high quality of life. Mr. P was formerly in the armed forces. He retired at age 65 and was soon diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease. He was in one of our clinical trials, the phase 3, that was truncated. During the period he was in the trial, his cognitive abilities flourished. Shortly after the truncation of the trial, and he was taken off the drug, his cognitive capabilities deteriorated significantly. We were able to discuss his condition with one of the physicians in his hometown. They put him back on the drug, and within a month's time, his cognitive abilities were back to where they were during the trial. Very successful stories and very, very personally, humanly involved with the company. The management team of Curaxis has extensive experience in healthcare and the pharmaceutical space. Biographies are available on the Curaxis website, but I can say with complete certainty that our ability and understanding to accomplish this project is clear and precise. We've also surrounded ourselves, the management team and employees, with tough, insightful, and shareholder-interested directors. They provide unbiased, deliberative direction and the experience to work as a focused driver of value. Additional candidates are in discussion with the company, and we anticipate a deepening of our director talent in the months ahead. The opportunity is wide open, and Curaxis Pharmaceutical leadership position provides for a substantial investment appreciation, an impact on society that will be felt forever, and participation in a project we can all be proud of to have served. Curaxis has surrounded itself with experienced advisors, individuals that are first in class in their professional careers, individuals that provide us with expertise in clinical trials, in the FDA process, in drug development, and clinical science, preclinical science, and basic science. These individuals are invaluable to the company and our future. Our capital structure is also simple. Curaxis has 72 million shares outstanding, with a major portion locked up for 1 year. Public float is currently 16.2 million shares. Fully diluted, including outstanding stock options and warrants, is 85.5 million shares. At today's market price, you have a company selling at around $100 million valuation, due to primarily being private for so long and the chaos in the AD research science space. I believe the opportunity I have just described make this an investment, a must-have in any portfolio. Let's keep in mind the primary thought that I began today's discussion about. The cumulative failures in AD drug candidates based on historic theories has positioned Curaxis as a leading candidate with very few contenders to a first-in-class disease-modifying treatment in Alzheimer's. In addition, 35 million people worldwide are desperate for relief. Now that deserves your attention. For further information, go to the link on the screen, and we will automatically update you on Curaxis progress. On behalf of Curaxis Pharmaceutical, I am Patrick Smith, and I thank you for your attention.